Oh man, y'all, you can't make this up. What's going on, beautiful people? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, actress Nia Long called out the Boston Celtics organization over the Ime Udoka cheating scandal. Nia Long is quoted as saying, "The Celtics made a choice to make my family business public, and I don't understand why." And y'all, I'm with her on that. I agree with her. For sure. They made that business public to the world when it really didn't have to be. You know, and they made it public for no other reason but to embarrass and humiliate Ime Udoka because they were pissed about a certain situation. They were pissed about him cheating with a certain person on staff, right? Because this is the rumor. For those who are in the dark, Ime Udoka allegedly cheated with another person who was on staff with the Boston Celtics organization, and that woman was allegedly married to another person who was on staff. So it made the whole situation tricky, right? Now, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I trying to absolve Ime Udoka for what he did. What he did was absolutely wrong. It was silly. It wasn't smart at all. It was very, very foolish. And now, you know, as a result, he's lost his family. He lost his job. Put himself, and I mean, just crazy, put his whole livelihood in jeopardy by making a foolish decision like this, right? And I always talk about brothers having more sexual discipline than we have. And, you know, trying to control yourself. Especially if you're cheating with somebody at work, like that's never a smart move, especially if that person is also married to somebody else you work with. Like, you know, it's going to get messy. It could possibly blow up. It could come right to your doorstep, and it's something that you don't want at all. So I'm like, yeah, a lot of brothers have to practice better sexual discipline, you know, and be like, listen, it's all about my money. I'm not messing up my money. None of that. I'm not messing up my family for a fling at the job, right? But nonetheless, I agree with Nia Long because ESPN initially broke the news of her ex-fiance, Ime Udoka, parting ways with the team. ESPN broke the news about the two parting ways, and at the end of the season, they would part ways and each other would move on, right? Now, the Boston Celtics, however, provided details of the story. They were the ones who brought it out that he was having an affair or having a relationship with somebody else on staff, and that is against team rules and all this and all of that. And they broke the news of that situation occurring. And then other stories started to come out from that, right? It was the woman he was messing with was married to somebody else on staff, so on and so forth. And then everybody started speculating and started coming out with, you know, started making videos, started talking about it on sports channels and all of that. And it became known that, yeah, the Celtics put it out there. He was having a relationship with somebody else on staff, which in turn embarrassed Nia Long tremendously. And I agree with her because y'all know, and some of y'all may not know, in sports, period, in all type of businesses, but in sports in particular, so many executives and players, etc., have had relations with people within organizations, right? Sometimes the people they have relations with have been married, right? And through all of that, the only explanation given for a person being dismissed from the team is just the person was in violation of team policy or team rules. There's never like this whole, oh, they did this, that, and the third. They did this. There's never this whole long laundry list of what the person did when a person is dismissed from the team. It's a simple, the person was in violation of team policy and team rules, and that is chalked up to that. But for this situation, they chose to divulge, you know, exactly what was going on, what Ime Udoka did. He had a relationship with a person on staff. And what puzzled me was that through all of this slander and throwing his name out of there, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have been slandered. He shouldn't have been, he shouldn't have been slandered in that way. I'm not saying that, you know, what he did was right, because it was wrong. It was wrong and it was foolish. But my thing is this, if you're going to slander Ime Udoka, why didn't you divulge the name of the person he was in a relationship or having an affair with, or, you know, messing around with? Because it wasn't like he put a gun to her head and forced her to be in that sexual relationship they had. It wasn't like he forced her to do that. She was willingly engaging in it too. But they chose to conceal her identity, which is like, whoa. Both of these parties were in the wrong in this situation. If it's against team rules, both parties were in the rules. Why is only one person's name being put out there to the world and there's that story? Only that person's infidelity is being brought into the situation, not the other person. And it's simple. To me, I feel like the person that Ime Udoka was messing around with was indeed married to somebody else on staff, right? And they valued the relationship with those people over the relationship with Ime Udoka. So they chose to make that business public to the world in order to embarrass Ime Udoka because they were pissed off at how he may have did something to one of their friends, somebody that is near and dear to them. He may have cheated with somebody who is the wife of one of the executives' friends, who is a friend of one of the executives, right? He may have cheated with somebody whose husband is a friend of one of the executives, real close person who they really value more than him, who, and it probably hurt that other individual. So they say, you know what? I'm going to make Ime Udoka hurt. I'm going to make him hurt and his whole family since he did this to somebody that I'm close to or somebody that I got a lot of love for. Okay, he messed up my boy's home life. I'm going to make sure his home life is messed up. And I feel like that's what happened. The Celtics executives, the general manager, whoever, may have had a close bond with the husband of the woman that Ime Udoka was messing with and said, you know what, we're going to make him burn. All right, put this out there. And it came out for everybody to see. And then Nia Long in that situation was embarrassed. And again, her husband is the reason for the embarrassment, but yet and still nobody had to know all of this. That business could have been kept concealed, could have stayed hidden, could have stayed behind closed doors. He would have had to just answer to his fiance, Nia Long. He would have had to answer to his woman, and she would have found out what had happened on her own time within the confines of their own home, not for the whole world to see. That situation played out for the whole world to experience. So in this situation, even if Nia Long wanted to stay with her ex-fiance, even if she wanted to stay with her fiance at the time, she felt like she probably couldn't because the world knew about it, and now she would have been too embarrassed to stay with him and stick with him. Y'all know how that is. You can stay with a person who's been unfaithful if only you know about their infidelity. But when the world knows about the infidelity, there is pressure to leave that person so you don't seem weak. You don't want to seem like a doormat, like a pushover. You don't want to seem like a person who is just, you don't want to seem like a clown. You don't want to get clowned out. You don't want to get embarrassed because everybody knows the business now. And now everybody's going to be looking at you like, oh, he cheated on her. This is a dude that was cheating on, he was cheating on her with his staff member. She didn't want to feel the ridicule. And again, maybe she was going to leave anyway. Who knows? But it could be a situation where she may have wanted to stay with him. She may have wanted to work things out, but she felt like she couldn't because all of her Hollywood friends know about it. She's a Hollywood actress too. She's not even just a regular person. She's a Hollywood actress. Her name is prominent within, the acting world. And now she's left to be like, oh my God, all of my friends and contemporaries are going to know about this and be looking at me upside my head. Not only that, she has a child with Ime Udoka. So now her child is of age where he can watch ESPN. He can get on his phone and see exactly what happened with his dad, right? And again, Ime Udoka's actions is what fireballed all of this, but it's not just his actions, the actions of that woman as well. She was involved as well, and they didn't want to divulge her name. Her name is protected from her family, her name is protected from being humiliated in the public eye. Her identity, because we still don't know who it is. People have speculated. People have come out and tried to say it was this person, and the world the person had to come out and say, no, it wasn't me. Their family and the Celtics organization had to deny that it was that said woman because they refused to bring forth the identity of the woman he was actually messing with. Right? So her reputation is not smeared. It's not damaged within her own family structure, publicly at least. Maybe with her own husband, if she was married, I believe she was, but not with all her friends and family because her name was never put in the public eye, into the public sphere. Her reputation is not damaged within the world's frame, within social media world or none of that because we still don't know her name. But his is. And Nia Long's reputation would have taken a hit by staying with him. By proxy, her reputation would have taken a hit just by staying with him, right? That woman's name is probably protected amongst her children, if she has children. Her name is protected, but Ime's not. You know what I mean? So you see how that works? It's just a double standard of situation, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's all I'm saying. I'm like, yo, y'all could have kept all of y'all could have just said y'all dismissed him of a violation of team policy. Let that man have to answer to his woman what being in violation of team policy means. Not let the world hear it and let it play out in front of the world. That's the problem. That's the issue with that whole situation. Right? And I agree with Nia Long. Like, why did that have to be public? That was made public to embarrass Ime Udoka and make him feel the burn for potentially messing up somebody else's family structure if he was indeed, in fact, messing with a married woman. You know, but yeah, man, and, you know, at the end of the day, brothers got to be more responsible. You got to be, you can't be foolish. You got to be more disciplined when it comes to sexual urges, so on and so forth, because I can never let some sexual urges mess up my money. I can never do that, right? But you know, again, temptation is a real thing, and a lot of people have been under the spell of temptation. Me, myself, men and women, both alike. But they had no business putting all of that public. They could have just kept it that he was in violation of team rules. So I agree with Nia Long in this situation. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.